Hey everyone, in this video we'll be discussing about um, Strongyloids strocoralis. So it is a nematode and it is a small intestine nematodes, because we have discussed earlier also that they are in a very magical way, to keep in our head. They're very strong and they don't care whether they're going to something big, means large intestines or small intestines. So they're very nice people, and they're happy with the small thing. They're happy with the small thing. They're very strong, therefore it's a small intestine. So they are also from small intestine we can memorize that they are the smallest roundworms. They are the smallest roundworms, and which are found in the intestine. And adults, they will live in the soil, and the larvae, they will be in the intestine. And the females, they are oviviviparous, and they are pathogenic and immunodeficient people. If these nematodes, Strongyloids strocoralis, is infecting a immunodeficient person, it will lead to autoinfection in them because of the weak immunity, and there will be hyperinfection. And जब hyperinfection होती है तो उसके बाद क्या होता है, it's gonna get spread. जब ये spread है तो उस चीज़ को हम क्या बोलते हैं, disseminated disease. It's gonna cause disseminated disease. That's it, because of the hyperinfection thing, because of that particular thing. What's the habitat? Since it is invading the small intestine, so we can say habitat is duodenum and the upper jejunum. Very clear. So duodenum the first portion and jejunum ka upper portion. That is where these Strongyloids strocoralis gonna invade, gonna stay. That's habitat, right? And host is obviously humans, and the mode of infection is skin penetration. So they're gonna penetrate through the skin. So that is the skin penetration. And what is infective form? That is larva is infective form, and that is a filariform larva मुझे बोलते हैं. तो ये चीज़ है यहाँ पे बेसिकली. एंड ठीक है, जैसे कि स्पॉज हमारे वो इंटेस्टिन में है. वी हैव दिस थिंग इन आर इंटेस्टिन. The eggs will be laid. Adult female spouse has invaded our small intestine, and eggs gonna invade. They're gonna lay the eggs. Then these eggs will hatch. They will become larva. That larva is known as rhabditiform larva. And then either this thing can cause autoinfection if this is an immunodeficient person, like in diabetes and some other immunodeficient, or a person is taking steroids. So wherever there is immunodeficiency, it's gonna reinfect, and they're gonna autoinfect, and that is gonna invade the lungs. It means the larva will enter into alveoli and the trachea. And a repeat cycle will occur. Again, it's gonna get into our GIT. Adult, they get converted into adult females and laying of the eggs, and same thing, rhabditiform larva. Or there is another way, that is through the colon. From the stools it will pass and it will enter the soil. Rhabditiform larva from the feces will enter the soil, and then this thing will happen. And then and that's how the infections can gonna occur. And through the skin it's gonna penetrate into the skin, right? So, and that is only the mode of infection through for the larva. Due to larva, the petechial painful skin lesions will be there at the site of the entry, and the disease is known as strongyloidiasis. And so if it is penetrating through the skin, and because suppose the normal human being is there and he somehow got exposed to his skin to the feces, or those rhabditiform larvae, they will enter through the skin, and that site will be very painful site. Petechiae will be there, and if there is autoinfection, then we can also find autoinfection of perineal skin, vesicular eruptions around the thigh and buttocks. So that perineal region, the thighs and butts also are involved in this due to the larvae. And then larva currents, that is what is this currents, something current, some movements like thing we are talking about. So it's 5 to 10 centimeter per hour they were gonna move, and in the lungs they're gonna cause the pneumonitis, that is eosinophilic pneumonitis. And if it becomes severe in the lungs, then it's gonna cause the Loeffler syndrome. So there will be Loeffler syndrome. Right? That's it. Now adult, if it is adult worm which is the cause of the strongyloidiasis, then they usually will be asymptomatic. Otherwise the symptoms होंगे, they are very common symptoms, that is abdominal pain, bloating, diarrhea alternating with constipation, these things, and malabsorption. Okay, that's all about it. Now coming to the hyperinfection, the filariform larvae they will develop in the gastrointestinal tract of the host. they're gonna penetrate the GI mucosa. They're going to enter the circulation. Means when they enter into circulation means they are spreading the whole over the body. The acceleration of the normal cycle, life cycle उसका चलता रहेगा, and excessive worm burdens will be there in the body. There will be no dissemination. This is hyperinfection. And what about a disseminated strongyloidosis? It is seen in the highly, I've already told that immunodeficient persons, like in the AIDS, in the glucocorticoid therapy, steroid therapy, and in the human T cell lymphotrophic virus and transplant recipients. In them, you can have that disseminated strongyloidosis. Dissemination will also cause a gram-negative septicemia. How? Now, because these larvas were in the small intestines, we have the gut, we have the gram-negative bacteria, and they are gonna also cause septicemia now because they have all those bacteria stuck to their surface, and it can cause brain abscess, and definitely they're gonna get to our brain too, and it's gonna cause the meningitis too. But how will we diagnosing it now? We'll get a stool sample, can also take a duodenal aspirates or sputum भी चलेगा, because definitely lungs are also infected in this. Gut तो है ही, उसमें we can take a stool sample, sputum sample, and directly हम aspirate कर सकते हैं duodenum से, that is their habitat. ठीक है, and then we have the rabidiform larva. We'll get hand, that's what we'll find it in the slides. Larva thing. And then we have two techniques to identify them, that is Harada-Mori filter paper technique. So in that we have filter paper that is smeared with the feces, and we have the water pot, water stuff is there, and then the lavas will get into it. Simple. That is what, when through wet mount of the water sample will demonstrate the lava. And then we have the Biermann's funnel technique. In that we have the funnel, and by the funnel we'll give a muslin cloth, and in that we'll put the species stool samples, and from that it's gonna come out, and we have the beaker of water, and then again wet mount will demonstrate the lava. And agar plate, this is the best method. We have the patient stool sample which is kept in the center of the agar plate, and that's incubated, right? And lava will move along, and with it gram-negative bacteria will also move, and gram-negative bacteria will colonize in the tracts. So that's how we can identify the bacteria also, and lava too. Serology, ELISA and luciferase immunoprecipitation assay. So ELISA we can remember, it's ELISA ही करवाते हैं usually. And then RT-PCR, this real-time PCR, will be giving like 100% sensitivity and specificity. Now coming to treatment, we have very easy one, तो हमें पता ही होता है albendazole, but that's an alternative. But drug of choice is ivermectin. Just 2 days, that's it. कोई ज़्यादा लंबा ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है. But if it is a disseminated, तो ivermectin दे रहे हैं, अब हम दे रहे हैं. Now we are giving for 2 weeks. So that's all about this strongyloid Stercoralis. And ivermectin we have to keep in our head, because there will be so many other drugs and many other pathogens, nematodes, and this was all about strongyloid Stercoralis. Overall picture क्या देखनी है हमने? We have to keep in our mind कि it's gonna affect the small intestine. How it is entering into our body? That's what we have to, like, through the skin penetration it can happen, right? And perianal lesions, vesicular eruptions around the bottom, perianal region, thighs and buttocks. Auto-infection can happen, that's through the rabidiform larva. Adult females in the GIT, upper jejunum and duodenum will lay the eggs, auto-infection or pass through stools, and penetrate the skin to affect the next new person or a host. And then ivermectin is a drug of choice. And what will be the symptoms? Usually adult will cause no symptoms in adult worm by adult females, and asymptomatic है. अगर symptoms आएंगे तो diarrhea, constipation, abdominal pains, जो छोटी जो normal एक चीज़ होती है, मतलब symptoms, very normal symptoms. And yeah, about disseminated, मतलब it's gonna affect the deficient people and gonna disseminate everywhere. Can also cause brain abscess and meningitis. And if it's about hyperinfection, that is through the circulation, that's it. Circulation gets through, it's gonna spread in the body, and normal life cycles will keep on occurring, and excessive worm burdens hota hai isme. Not dissemination, but that's the difference. And diagnosis we have done. Just to memorize 2 names. एक paper technique है, that is Harada-Mori filter paper technique. And then we have the funnel hai, that is Biermann's funnel technique. So this is these 2 techniques we will be using. Water thing, and in water we will find that lavas, how they are gonna get collected in the water through our stool specimens. That's what we have to think of it. And I guess we are pretty much clear with this. And one is agar plate culture, which is the best method, and gram-negative we have to memorize because in our gut there are mostly gram-negative bacteria, so we're gonna stick to the surface of this lavas or adult worms, and artemisia and ivermectin. Yeah, so albendazole, that's always an alternative. But if we have to memorize ivermectin, then strong and ivor. Right. So strong and ivory. Ivory I just memorizing from my 8th or 9th grade, some sort of alloy maybe. Iron I can remember now. Iron and strong. Iron is a strong metal, and similarly strong alloys are also very strong. So iron I'm giving in this. This iron is ivor. Ivermectin. This ivor and iron is sort of a rhymic thing maybe. And yeah, that's how I can spread the magic of learning this worm. And we will be discussing definitely about the many more worms in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned. Bye bye, see ya, bye bye.